What happens when Hollywood's golden girl is accused of weaponizing, demand her co-star fights back with subpoenas,
for comment on the latest
leaked
ruling,
texts,
but has not yet heard back.
Have argued
this isn't
the whole
just a
time.
scandal.
Blake and Ryan do everything
deep into
together.
every betrayal, every
without
deleted
notifying
DM,
them
every PR
or Wayfair.
meltdown.
They used
the Alistair's
an end
caught in
around,
the blast zone.
and instead was happening.
Welcome to
there
Starline,
were
where
some things going
the truth
on
has
behind the
receipts.
scenes related to
It
the
all
Blake
began with a
Lively
love
case.
story
Now,
on
if you're-
screen.
Well, I look like I am all of those
Blake
things,
Lively
and on
and
paper
Justin
I am.
Baldoni signed on to co-produce and co-star in the
Lively's
film
harassment
adaptation
and
of it ends
retaliation
with us.
claims.
Fans were
However, a
ecstatic.
protective order has
Two
also
beloved
been
stars
put in place
taking on a
over any
passionate,
correspondence.
heartbreaking novel
not as a husband.
headline gold.
And if he responded
behind
to
the
the
scenes,
subpoena, or he issued
the
the
chemistry
subpoena
was
in
more combustible than
2025,
romantic.
husbands
Reports
do
of
not
creative clashes
control
began to leak.
or speak for their
Sources
wives.
close to the
Confident that
production
Ryan
describe the
Reynolds and
atmosphere
Blake
as
are paying
tense,
attention to my Instagram,
with
so
Lively
the
allegedly
relationships that
clashing
I
with
witnessed
Baldoni
through
over
friends,
direction,
family,
tone,
loved ones.
and
It's
ironically,
normally
the
it's
depiction
not
of
the
trauma.
men who are
victims
What started
of
as a
domestic
career
violence
highlight
were hurt
unraveled
by,
into
and they found
Hollywood's
it
most talked
dismissed.
about implosion.
How does Ryan
December
justify
2024.
doing a lawsuit in
The first
his shadow
lawsuit
company
hits like a sledgehammer,
Blake?
Blake.
And you can't
Lively files a
have
bombshell
Blake and Ryan
complaint
testify
alleging
against each-
sexual
this is
harassment,
again
emotional
why
manipulation,
having this
and breach of
case
contract.
dismissed, Justin's
In the
case
same
dismissed,
breath,
you're trying to like
She
prosecute
accuses
him for something
Baldoni
he
of
did before he even knew
retaliating
who
when
you
she
were.
tried to
She's
take
basically
creative
here
control of the
when
project.
it comes to
But Baldoni
how
doesn't
they
back
managed,
down.
how they decided not
Weeks
to do
later,
a meld in 2019,
countersues
and it was
Lively for
revealed
$400
that since
million,
the initial filing of the
accusing her
articles
of
incorporation
orchestrating
said
a
something
character
at the premiere,
assassination
and because Baldoni
campaign,
learned about the
exploiting
allegations
the
in
Me
New
Too
York,
movement,
that's
conspiring
that
to
you were
damage his
satisfied
brand
with
in
the
upcoming
contents of a
projects.
single mobile
It wasn't
phone.
just he said.
And why did your
She
attorneys
said.
not? This is
It
what
was
they
he
said.
sued. She
Ryan
sued.
may have been dismissed,
And
but he's
everyone
not
dash
immune to
lawyer
being
dash
subpoenaed,
up the
they
case
say.
divided
I
Hollywood
obtained a
faster
copy
than any
of their
casting
articles of
announcement ever
incorporation,
could.
which were
No one
filed. This is
expected
being, in my
Taylor
opinion,
Swift
done
to get
as
pulled into the
violating a
mess.
confidentiality
But when
agreement.
Lively's team
He
listed
had no
Taylor and her
contracts
boyfriend,
with Justin Baldoni.
Travis
or Dan
Kelce's
Action
potential
was a
witnesses
sham.
to critical conversations,
Why? Because
the friendship
if
took a
the action
nosedive.
was grounds
Taylor
related
reportedly
to how
ended
the
all
CRD
contact.
complaint was filed,
A source close to her
and there
inner
was
circle
this
said,
window of any of
"She's
it,
not here
just
for this
that
drama.
Nathan
She
might
wants
have been in
distance
New
from the
York.
legal circus."
Not him, but Nathan.
Online,
Are relevant
Swifties
to
began
the case,
unfollowing Blake and
allowing
Jones.
Justin's legal team
The
to have
hashtag
access to them
Swift
during
snub
the
trended
dispute.
for
If
days.
Ryan
The
was
ripple
in
effects
charge
reached Ryan.
of Van Zandt, and it
Reynolds
is his business,
silently
other
removed
because
dozens of
a
Instagram
spousal
photos featuring
privilege.
Baldoni
But
in deleted years.
Ryan was acting as
Worth of
it
tweets
all but
defending his
says
wife's
that he
collaborators.
did nothing in New York.
And Taylor
and she can't
walks,
think of a single thing that
fandom
he
follows.
was. They didn't file a
In a
motion
surprising
to dismiss.
twist,
And they should have.
Lively's
They
team
should have
subpoenaed
filed one
high-profile
for the
content
motion to
creators
dismiss against
Candace
her
Owens,
claims. He has done
Perez
motions
Hilton,
to dismiss.
and
Denied
Andy
the
Signori
allegations,
accusing
his
them of
countersuit
amplifying
against
falsehoods
Blake and her
planted by
husband's
Baldoni's
between
camp.
Blake Lively and
Each
Taylor
issued
Swift
scathing
to
public
prevent leaks
statements.
to the press.
Owens fired
check
back
out
on her
what they said
podcast.
to the
She's
court.
sending subpoenas
Ellen
like
Groffalo.
party invites.
She wrote this on Saturday.
I had nothing to do with
Other
this drama, and
high-profile
frankly,
people
her ego's
like
writing
Vin
checks the
Diesel,
court can't
when
cash.
he was accused by
Perez
time
Hilton,
because it was
meanwhile,
barred,
dedicated to episodes
time
of
barred.
his
The problem
Show
with
2
Blake
calling the
is
legal
that
tactics
perception
desperate damage
for
control.
The film, maybe.
YouTubers ran
but
wild
he
with
didn't have a
speculation.
contract with them.
Were these
So
influencers
why
just
would
gossiping?
he?
Maternal love, romantic love,
were they
platonic
actually
love.
recruited?
I have felt that, and
Internet
I think
sleuths
that like
turned their
can't
magnifying
sue for
glass
that.
toward
And
timestamps,
There's
DM
issues with how she
screenshots,
filed the
and
CRD
deleted
complaint,
comments.
and they
Blake's brand,
will never
Blake
make me
Brown,
believe otherwise.
began hemorrhaging
This way,
customers.
It makes Ryan
The
look
artisanal lifestyle
terrible.
line saw
It makes
sales
Ryan
plummet by
look
78%.
Like he's, and what she included
Several
for the
retailers
CRD
quietly
complaint as far as
pulled products
some
off
of the
shelves,
sue
citing
them
brand
for Jenny Abel's
realignment.
phone. What
Meanwhile,
relation does he
Baldoni's
have
legal team dropped
to
a
basically
nuke,
trying to say
a
because
slick,
he knew Nathan,
minimalist
this is the whole
website featuring
roundabout.
court
We quoted them
filings,
for being behind,
video clips
but
from
also
behind the
it was
scenes
done
interactions,
after
and a chilling voice
LNE5,
memo of Lively
husbands don't
saying,
speak
"Let him
for
think
their
he's in
wives.
control.
If that's the
It
case,
sells
why is
better."
for
While not conclusive,
those specific
the clip went viral.
causes? She,
TikToks
to me,
analyzed her tone.
Almost
Podcasts
strengthened
dissected
the fact
her word
that he
choice.
was an agent.
Reddit lit
for
up with
Blake.
theories.
And
Public
that
sentiment
filed that
shifted.
lawsuit, not Blake.
Some started
and if
using
it was
the term
Ryan that was
Livlygate,
claiming
according to a resurfaced
people were spreading to Blake
leak.
as Van Zandt.
Ryan Reynolds
as
allegedly
well as
confronted
to take
Blake
the
in
heat off
October
of
2024,
officers and directors
accusing her of
Van
being
Zandt
emotionally
could be
entangled
discovered
with
and viewed
Baldoni.
online. through the
Insiders say he
secretary.
discovered
About
a
the working
private iCloud
environment on the
folder
film,
labeled set,
among other
containing
issues.
dozens of unshared
Ryan's
BTS
company
photos of just Blake.
involving themselves in this dispute.
And just in many of
I
them
asked a
candid,
lawyer,
some late
like,
dash
see,
night.
Judge,
No
Ryan
explicit
Reynolds
content,
is
but for
this,
fans of
and
T,
so Van Zandt
it was
is
enough to
not
warrant
Van
several
Zandt,
steamy
and he is a
TikTok
third party,
edits
and he shouldn't
and
have to give
conspiracy
anything
threads.
up.
Thrown around.
Ryan's
And
representative
at
denied
one
the affair
point,
rumors,
Blake's name came
but
up.
when asked whether
And what
he
I
trusted his
found
wife's on-set
fascinating-
relationships,
Garofalo
Reynolds gave a
notified the
terse.
judge
Next
that
question.
Van Zandt was
Vens.
Blake Lively. Overly
cracks.
broad that it didn't even pass
Paparazzi
muster
captured several
under
tense
Lyman
outings.
but
Analysts began
Ryan
whispering.
Reynolds is
Was the
known,
real marriage on the
part
line?
of the reason why
In
everything
February
is
2025,
not going to
a
go
major
well for her
upheaval.
in her case is that
Blake's lead attorney
this
resigned.
is revisionist history, and it's
The official
just more
statement?
gamesmanship here.
Strategic differences.
But even ill,
Translation
thus far,
in Hollywood
there has been
terms,
nothing filed
the
in
ship
that
is on
matter.
fire, and
But
someone's grabbing a
Saving the
lifeboat.
women. It's the women who are coming in and
Legal
nurturing and
analysts
saving,
speculated
and,
this
like,
could
and they are the
be a
anxious.
Has
sign of
reached out to
internal
reps for Justin
disagreements over
Baldoni,
tactics,
Taylor
or
Swift,
worse, undisclosed information about to surface. Baldoni's
That's
team
a horrible
capitalized
look for them.
immediately,
Horrible.
motioning
Horrible.
to discredit
Because
Blake's
if it's
testimony
Ryan with someone,
and push for
and
full
it was like one of his
dismissal.
employees.
The motion
that
was denied,
Mike,
but the damage
and
was
put the heat on
psychological.
Ryan, who is now
After
a
nearly
non-party.
6 months of
So
silence,
if Ryan is
Baldoni
Van Zandt,
reemerged in a YouTube
at all,
interview that shook
he may
the
have
internet.
been paid by Sony
said,
for marketing.
"Don't hate her.
Jet is tied to New York.
I think she's hurt.
It is
And I
reasonable
think when
to infer
hurt
that
people
Wallace
don't heal,
knew that
they
Nathan
burn
won,
everything
because
in
if
reach.
Baldoni
I just
wants
won't
to
let my
appeal the
children
case,
grow up
that would
thinking
be
I
due
ran from
by
truth."
end up
The
in the
quote went
hands of
viral.
your wife
His brand
and then the New
perception
York
soared.
Times.
From
When it's
accused to
framed in
composed.
Reynolds is driving
From villain to
this
victim,
bus
he
as
was
it
shifting narratives in
relates
real
to this
time.
lawsuit with them.
May 2025.
And then there were no other issues
judge allows
on the set,
livelies.
and everything filmed
Lawsuit to
as
proceed
normal.
to trial,
and it was
but
fine.
denies her
Litigation
motion
that
to seal
happens,
therapy notes.
You know, a year
suddenly.
later, even
Tabloids ran
remotely-
wild.
So
Is Blake
often,
Lively
you
hiding
the
something?
man coming in and swooping
Mental
in
health
and saving the
advocates
woman,
pushed
but like
back
in
against
real
the
life,
narrative.
when I look,
Celebrities like
Absolutely.
Selena Gomez came to her defense,
So flawed.
but the ruling
That's like one of
stood.
Justin Baldoni
The trial would
scores a
be
minor
public,
victory
and so
in
would
his
discovery.
ongoing legal battle with Blake
Baldoni's
Lively.
attorneys immediately
A New York-
requested
Later
access to
filed
all medical and
SDNY
psychological
case.
records.
Yet,
Then
despite
came the most
epic
explosive
lawsuit
twist.
that it was originally
Get
filed.
an
So
anonymous
had she
whistleblower
discovered
leaked what appeared
she
to be an
claimed she
audio
was Jen Abel
file of
outside of his
Baldoni
wife doing a film with
apologizing to
Baldoni.
Lively during
This
a phone
is
call.
the
Key quote,
bigger issue
"I
here.
didn't mean to cross
for
that
me,
line.
For me, is that
We were
as
okay.
much as people like
I never
Brian
wanted
Reed,
this to end up in
harassment
court."
claims are
Lively
barred
supporters said
by
it proved her
the federal
claims.
government.
Baldoni's team
He
fired
resided in
back,
New York.
stating that
His
audio is manipulated.
declaration
It
flat
lacks
out says
metadata,
that he
timestamps,
conducted
or
asking
authentication.
Ryan at
so
deposition
the war of
what she would
receipts
ask Ryan.
escalated.
Why did your shadow
Analysts
For
from
messages
YouTube,
with
TikTok,
Swift
and even
regarding the film and
independent
this
forensic
action
analysts
are
broke down the
reasonably
waveform.
tailored.
is
The
in New York
conclusion?
sometimes, and because Steve
Inconclusive,
Sarowitz
but
Or
damn
they
it.
are the knight in shining
Either
armor.
way,
Men see this and
one
they're
of the
like,
most
yes,
contested
I felt
elements of
that.
the
I felt
lawsuit,
that love.
Yeah.
for the
one
Lively's
that used to
refusal
work
to
for
release
him with
therapy
sexual
notes.
harassment.
Her team
and
cited privacy.
He did it under
Baldoni's
the
team
guidance
said
to file a
emotional
lawsuit.
trauma was
She
her
didn't.
central
So
argument,
she
so
can't
context
sue
matters.
for that. And
This
there's issues
question
should
how
have
much of your
related
pain
to
must be made
issues
public
with
to
the
seek
CRD
justice.
complaint. They
Sparked
should
a
have
broader
related
cultural
to the
debate.
time
Talk
barred
shows ran panel
issues with the sexual
discussions.
harassment claims.
Hashtags like
Visioning,
hashtag my
like doing the
pain, my
revisionist
privacy,
history now,
and hashtag
right?
release the
and
notes
trying to cover
trended
for
for
Blake.
weeks.
How does Ryan
Let's rewind the
justify
tape.
doing be grounds
Filming raps
to
on
prove
It Ends With
malice?
Us.
If anything,
Rumors of
it would
tension on
also
set.
prove that he is acting as
First
Blake's,
lawsuit,
would also prove
Baldoni
that he is
countersues,
acting as
her attorney
Blake's
exits,
agent, inserting himself
influencers
into
are
her
subpoenaed,
lawsuits. They
Swift
can no longer
unfollows.
use the exist
Mental
with
health records
prejudice,
ruling,
not giving
secret
them an
audio
option
leak.
to amend.
Discovery enters
now that
final
they have this
phase.
evidence.
This isn't just
when
drama.
Ryan is
It's a
now
Hollywood
Van
timeline
Zandt
worthy
and
of a
trying
film
to subpoena
itself.
Blake,
That depends on who
Abel's
you ask.
phone for a dispute
In legal
between
terms,
Blake,
the case
right?
remains
When it
murky.
came to
But in
Ryan
public
running
perception,
around saying that
the pendulum
Justin was a
swings
sexual
by the hour.
predator,
Baldoni
they
is
said
composed.
that he wasn't
Lawyer-backed
operating as
rollout of
Blake's.
PR
But they
content
took
is
that
dated.
evidence.
Traction
closed
with moderate
the lawsuit,
audiences.
Came to court,
Lively's core fans
admitted they
remain
have the
fiercely
evidence
loyal.
from this lawsuit that wasn't.
But even some
Baldoni
mainstream
should have
press
been
has
added
raised
to that
eyebrows at the
action.
litigation strategy.
Well, why would he have
1.
not been added
Tame
to
It
that
Weekly
action?
op-ed put it this
well,
way.
because then they would have known
This isn't just legal
that
theater.
action
It's
would
a referendum
be
on
added
truth,
to that case.
perception,
Because
and
if
power.
the true dispute was between Van
trial is
Zandt
scheduled
and Jenny
for
Abel's phone,
March
and
22
per the
6.
information without
then,
some
depositions will
metadata,
continue
some of
behind
it would be
closed
marked
doors
with confident,
and leaks.
and there is no separation
We'll
from
almost certainly
one
keep
or
the
the
drama
other.
alive.
Nor can
Both
Van Zandt
actors face
Van
career
Zandt
uncertainty.
and a CEO of
Multiple
Van Zandt,
projects
not
are
as
on pause.
Ryan Reynolds, the
Sponsors
husband,
have pulled
himself into
out.
her lawsuits.
Reputations
They
are
can no longer use the
redefined in
excuse.
real
In
time.
2020,
But
they
perhaps
said
the bigger
that he
question
wasn't
is,
operating
how
as
much of
Blake's
this is a
agent.
legal war?
If
How much of
now
it
that
is
they have
scripted?
this evidence,
Welcome to
would
Starline.
certainly